Hello YouTube fans, here again. And I thought about talking about this film when it comes to the 82 80s marathon of action films, that being The Sword and the Sorcerer. I remember doing this the first time and a lot of noise, so I ended up removing the video. And I did it a second time, so I figured why not do it a third time to feel it's pretty good for the 80s marathon. As we're now going to 82 of the 80s marathon, being The Sword and the Sorcerer. Now, I kind of like this one. Again, some people say it's a Dope the Barbarian rip-off, and if it is, it's a good one. Now, it starts off, it's based on the olden times, so you can expect a buccaneer at Benserville. Surprise, surprise. The music kind of reminds me of the opening of Predator. If you ever hear the music to this and hear the original music to Predator with the opening, where it goes, did it, and you've got a spaceship flying in the air. Listen to the opening of this and you see what I mean. So you've got this baddie as the main villain, and he resurrects this evil sorcerer. Kills a woman, and he definitely doesn't mess about this film. It's definitely bloodthirsty, it's definitely everything. This is what I felt. This is what I felt Job the Barbarian should have been. Blood and guts, nudity, the lot. So he kills this sorcerer woman who's resurrected the evil sorcerer, rips her heart out, definitely doesn't mess about, and you've got this beautiful opening. But it's based on the olden times, like I say, and this lad, you've got a king, you've got a queen, you get it, it's the olden times, and the evil sorcerer sort of brings out the Black Death, kills everybody, and there's just this lad, a magical sword. The father of the king gets killed, and the mother just gets beheaded. Again, you don't exactly see it, so it's not exactly like he told the barbarian, but you get the idea he gets beheaded. The lad accidentally gets his hand cut, which is sort of like you get the idea as the days go on. It's going to be the same character, but he manages to get out of Dodge and he gets away. You get the idea it's days later, he's now like a warrior, he's got a fake hand. There's bits in it where he could have had other stuff, I mentioned that before on a review, like, he had a chainsaw for a hand or a sword and he can alter the hand as a weapon. It's not the taste, but it doesn't ruin the film, and I still think it's an entertaining film. So you've got this beautiful woman who's got like a princess. You've got an idea the lad's a knight. You think you've seen him before. Sadly to say he's no longer with us. He appeared in Old Besitter and he appeared in Jaws 3D. He's the one that got eaten up by the shark. Have you ever seen Jaws 3D? He's in the film. You might remember him being in a lot of other things, and like I say, he was well known for being in Old Besitter before he sadly passed away. May he rest in peace. Well, he's in this and he gets abducted, and the evil king that took over the kingdom, he assassinates the sorcerer, kills the sorcerer. Well, you think he does. So, long and old, the beautiful princess asks the warrior to save her brother. He's fighting, he's cutting off heads, and he gets tattooed by stupidity. A lot of nudity in one scene, that's nice to see, lots of tits. But he gets tattooed. The evil king who took over the land, doesn't know that he's the flipping was the lad lost his hand, he lost his king and all his tingle. But I do love the scene though when they got him tied up like he's Jesus. Sometimes they got away with it. He's got like a bolt on one hand and a bolt on the other. It's really gruesome scene, and you get the princess, he blackmails the princess that if you're half a marry me, and so on. Some of these men who was on the way, like many men, they get tattooed. There's really good gruesome scene in it where this beautiful girl has a tongue cut off, I should say, cut off there, gets cut off, same as the other lad, and she self-sacrifices herself. This evil bald guy, he tortures people, really evil guy, really is evil. But as the film goes on, they get away, they get the guy, slash his head through this thing. You don't see it, but you get the bloody, the beautiful bloody skirty effect. Oh, it's beautiful, just beautiful. Ultimate revenge. And like I say, he's going to marry the princess. Our main character's got a one there, which I don't know why. One of his hands, as we all know, is a false hand. So he pulls the bolt off and he gets out of Dodge. All the other warriors coming in. I felt this bit sort of dragged a bit. You got a bit of epic music. Halfway through, it really drags the film. Honestly, thought you could go, make a cup of coffee, get some donuts, and honestly, thought it still take the same length of time, and still get there and still hear that music. It really does drag. But you do get this one guy in it who's helping the evil king all the way through. You're half and half thinking, is he a good guy or a bad guy? There's something about him. You think he's going to help the princess estate, right? And he tries it on with her. She needs him down there, doesn't do anything. But it's a really good bit. This bit to me is just like, oh, that bit where the heart gets ripped out. This really is a good bit of horror. Because he just rips his face off, rips his skin off, and you find it's the sorcerer. Just dies, as his die, blood everywhere. Oh, it's lovely. And he tries to put her in a trance. The evil king tries to get him. He makes him bleed, knocks him on the floor. Warrior comes out, says, there's no fight between you and me, I just want him. But then he does it with him. He fires this sword with 2 spikes, knocks the sorcerer down on his ass. The beautiful princess has this big snake, big like a pecan, wrapped round her legs. Nothing naughty there, even though it does look naughty. The king gets up, he has a big epic sword fight. But he gets the better of the king, stabs the king, and the king says one thing before he dies, before I die, who are you? He says, do you not know? And then you get the idea, he's the one who was the lad, getting his revenge, what happened to his family. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. If it is a Job the Barbarian rip-off, it's a bloody duddon. So he kills the evil king. He saves the dirt from that evil snake. The sorcerer jumps up. I felt this bit was a bit OTT. You've seen it all the time. A typical boo-hoo jump scare. Doesn't work. I knew it was going to come a mile away. The sorcerer jumps up again. Tries to attack him. The warrior jumps up. Finishes him off with a knife or a sword. Kills the fucker. And so I felt that bit was just killed him. I felt just done an epic sword fight with the sorcerer and all, but it's what it is. He gets the princess, rides off a rope. They all live happy after. You get your typical monologue. Then you get words coming up. And it says the adventure will continue next time, next summer, with another story. So what's going to make sort of like a follow-on to this? But sadly to say, the sword and the sorcerer didn't really rip off that well. It didn't rub that well at the time. But now I love the sword and the sorcerer. It's proper 18. It's proper bloodthirsty. Doesn't fuck around in the blood and gore and nudity apartment. It's like typical of your warrior adult adventure films. If, like I say, people say it's a Job the Barbarian rip-off, I'd have to say it's a dud one. I'd have to say it's a dud one. Got it on DVD. Still got it on DVD today. Like I say, it came out in 1982. And I do love the fact as the original art cover. Sadly, I ain't got it with me. I'm in work today. But if you've ever seen the art cover is beautiful. Just beautiful. It's got a big dock-off sword with the spikes. You've got the sorcerer stood there. You've got the princess there, a little bit naked. And the bird words, the sword and the sorcerer, bold as anything, just looks beautiful. On the DVD, you get like 2 trailers. It's not, it's one trailer is censored down a little bit. It's not as finger, it looks like the same trailer. And the other trailer, it shows the bit of the director's skin off. You see a bit of nudity there, where I think on the censored one, they're wearing like a bikini, the girls. You've got a TV spot, a few photographs to market the film, and that's about it really. I thought sort of put a bit more features in it, but it's still not a bad one. It's got a good menu on it. It's stood hour of your time. You like booking here adventure films in a certain era before movies went PC pussified. It's a good hour of your time. There's a bit of horror in it, a bit of action in it, a bit of adventure in it. That's the sword and the sorcerer. Now, as you know, I'm going to be away for a few days because I'm going to be working, but when I get back, I'll do some more movies, more movie reviews into them. Be smart, be safe, and I'll see you later.